All right, guys, it's time for our special segment featuring a very special guest. You know him from our previous podcast, but it's the friend of the show, Matt. Or I guess Japan. You guys may know. Yeah, you guys know him as Matt vs. Japan.
Hey guys, what's up?
Yo, so we're doing a special Would You Rather section in our podcast today. A pretty new edition here, but hope you guys are going to have some fun with it. So, Matt, are you ready for these questions, man?
I think I'm as ready as I'm ever going to be.
All right. So, Eric, you want to do the honors of asking the first question?
All right, the first question is, would you rather be a supporting character in a shonen anime or the main character in a drama? A Japanese drama.
So, definitely be the main character in a Japanese drama. I know that probably the idea behind this question is that Japanese dramas are kind of corny and not cool, especially compared to shonen anime. But first of all, I like dramas. I think there's some... Hey, they can be corny, but they can still hit you, man. They can hit you hard if you let them, especially the good ones. And but even more than that, I'm never going to be a side character, dude. Main character all the way.
Yeah, man. I'm just waiting for the Matt vs. Japan anime at this point.
What about you guys? You guys have to answer too, right?
All right. Yeah. I mean, I guess I would rather be a supporting character in a shonen anime. I'll go with that side. I mean, I'm more of the... Well, maybe I'll make the supporting character into a main character along the way. Who knows? But I don't know. Although it does depend on which anime we're trying to go from, because there's some animes where the supporting characters are so sorry, they're the weakest characters you're ever gonna see. You see them for 1 second and then they die the next second. So it has to be a pretty solid level of supporting character, I'd have to say. The ones that really help the main character out, the real OGs, not some I guess maybe an example could be Sakura from Naruto. She doesn't die, but she's so useless. I'm not about that useless life. But yeah, what do you think, Eric?
Yeah, I think I'd say the same. A supporting character. I'm thinking of in One Punch Man, you have Genis, and he has his own. Sometimes you also have your own dedicated episode as a supporting character if you're a strong supporting character.
And those are normally good episodes.
Yeah,
those are good episodes.
And you're animated. So it's a lot cooler.
Okay, that is a perk I didn't take into account. But I also think one potential benefit of being a side character is you probably have cooler fans, because if you're the main character, of course, if you're gonna like a show and your favorite character is just the main character, that's so boring and cliche that you're probably not a very interesting person. But if your favorite character in a show is actually the side character, then I don't know. I feel like you're probably going to be a cooler person on average. So if you're a side character,
your own model.
Yeah, you're gonna have cooler
action
fans.
Figure, but you don't get action figures if you're a character in a drama.
Okay, that's another perk I didn't take into account.
Oh man!
But dude, honestly, hey, no hate, but the type of people who tend to buy action figures of anime characters don't have a huge overlap with the type of people who I have a lot in my friends group. So I'm fine if there's people who aren't going to be buying action figures of me.
Yeah, but don't you have an action figure or a
okay? There's a story behind that. I won that at a UFO catcher, and that I just happened to win that one UFO catcher game. I didn't actually want it that badly. It's not like I spent money to get it. It was one quarter, and it was a long time ago. Okay, next question.
All right, we're just gonna go and ignore that real quick. But anyways, moving on to the second question. So, all right, Matt, would you rather go back to age 5 with everything you know now, or would you go back, or would you now know everything your future self will learn?
Ooh, that's a good one. But it depends how you interpret this question, because if you literally could go back to knowing everything you know now into the past, actually, I guess this would apply to both of them. I was going to say you could easily invest in Bitcoin and then just get rich.
Exactly.
And so I don't know if you want to exclude stuff like that from the question, but that's a really interesting one, because who knows what type of stuff I'll go on to know in the future that I would end up knowing
maybe money
now.
will be worthless.
Yeah, well,
big questions.
But the other thing is what if I die like next year, and so it's like all a waste. Like I only end up knowing like 1 year's worth of stuff. And well, actually, maybe that would be the most valuable thing of all, because then I could avoid my death or something. So actually, true. You know what? That's probably the most important potential benefit, is that you could actually learn about some mistakes that you make. Because looking back, I've made some mistakes, but nothing detrimental. But maybe I go on to make a detrimental mistake, which I'll be able to avoid by knowing the future. So actually, I think I'm gonna have to go with that one.
True. All right, Eric, let's see.
It reminds me of this like one Doraemon episode where like Nobita gets like a special telescope where he can see the future of what he's gonna do, and he ends up just spending all his time looking through the telescope and not actually doing any of those things.
That sounds like totally something that just sounds like a typical anime plot. I feel like that's like always the conclusion that anime will give you.
Nothing happened. The end. Yeah. All right, Eric. Well, what do you got here, man?
I think I would go back to age 5 because I feel like it would be so much more fun with all the perspective. But at the same time, I feel like I'd be more careful about like doing stuff because I would want to like follow a specific path. So maybe it's kind of dangerous to do that.
Right.
Yeah. But then the alternative is that if I know everything that's going to happen, that's also going to have like a lot of pressure on me because it's like everything's already planned out and I have no like free will, kind of.
Well, you could change the future though.
Different.
Yeah.
Huh. I guess in that case, if I could change the future, then I'll choose that one then.
Well, the other component though that we might want to take into account is that if you went back to age 5, you could become like the world's most legendary polyglot. If you're just like, Mom and Dad, buy me all these language tapes, like immerse me in all these other languages. You could get like native level in like 6 languages or something by the time you're like 20.
All right, I guess like if knowing everything you know like now includes like all your language, you could just go back and be like a genius. Like all of a sudden you're like age 5 and you just magically just know like fluent Japanese.
But then people would expect you to keep going up. Like people would expect you by the time you're 20, you've like solved some world problem. And if you just like maintain the same amount of knowledge, people are gonna be like, yeah, I guess he's like kind of dumb.
It's kind of like, I don't know if you guys have seen The Queen's Gambit, but like it's like a show where basically it's like a genius chess prodigy, but she kind of goes through, I guess, all these ups and downs. I'm not going to go spoil too much, but like the amount of pressure and problems, like Eric was saying, that comes with being a prodigy, that is something to consider. But I guess now going to me to answer this question, I would go and say, go back to age 5, start up the KoreKara podcast at an early age. Let's get it. All right. Next question.
Be one of the first podcasts on YouTube.
True. It'll be just some little kid.
The KoreKara experience.
Become what goes on to be JRE pretty much, except it's the KoreKara podcast. It's the biggest podcast in the world. You like single-handedly get like millions of people into learning Japanese.
True.
You can invent YouTube.
You're like waiting around, man, when are they going to invent YouTube? I want to like upload my podcast like on day 1 of YouTube. Like, there you go.
Like terrible quality, terrible audio, but the content is there. All right, Eric, what's the next question? Yeah, 5-star. Matt knows what's up.
All right. Would you rather be able to instantly acquire any language to working proficiency or have perfect 100% native fluency in Japanese?
So is this like a one-time use thing? Like I could instantly have working proficiency in like a additional language?
Yeah, so you can like just look at it, boom, you know the language, or all the points just go into Japanese and that's it type of thing.
Oh, in that case, I definitely want to be 100% perfect in Japanese because, like, that's something that realistically I'm never going to be able to actually do in this lifetime. But getting to working proficiency in any other language I want to, like, oh, that's easily doable in a couple of years. So you're basically saying something that's doable takes 3 years or something that's literally impossible. So if I had that option, I'd definitely choose the one that otherwise would not be obtainable.
But then you wouldn't be as special, like, if you were actually 100% native in Japanese, right?
Yeah, but I would be special to the people that knew that. Yeah, in a weird way, because if I was a foreigner who worked really, really hard and became 100% perfect, in a way, I wouldn't be special because I just come across as a normal Japanese person. But to the people who knew my story, I would be legendary. But if the only reason I got perfect was because like a fairly godparent like gave it to me, then I wouldn't be special, obviously. But still, you know, I can't give up the potential, the possibility of being 100% perfect, because it still pains me to know I'm never going to fully be perfect in Japanese, even though I'm going to keep probably using Japanese the rest of my life. So if I had a way to circumvent that, I would have to take it.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll go the other way then, have some variety here. I'll go make a YouTube channel, Raza, the guy who can speak every single language, in parentheses, to working proficiency. Oh, man. All right, Eric, what do you got, man?
I would say 100%. Can I choose like a different language? Or it has to be Japanese?
What language did you choose?
Like Taiwanese. I feel like that'd be so special. Like somebody in my age who can speak like perfect Taiwanese. And I'll make it.
That's unexpected. Channel. That feels like really wholesome somehow.
Yeah, it does. People would love that.
You choose your like basically a heritage language. That's like very wholesome.
That's cute, Eric. That's cute, man.
Connecting to your roots, I like it.
Yeah, and our panel of judges seems to have some good words here. All right, so all right, I guess next question over here. So, would you rather have perfect speaking ability in Japanese or have a complete mastery over every single kanji ever created?
Okay, no, this one's easy. I mean, boring, but let's be real. You got perfect speaking ability, of course, because who gives a crap if you know every kanji? That's like literally, I would just make you a super nerdy otaku, and if you told anyone how much kanji they knew, they probably wouldn't want to be your friend anymore because they'd be so like freaked out, and like it would just be so weird that you spent. I mean, because they would assume that you know all those kanji because you spent your time learning all that kanji, right? Which kind of tells what kind of person are you if you want to dedicate like your whole life to just learning kanji that have literally like only been used in like one ancient Chinese text, like 1,000 years ago or something.
Reminds me of this one guy the foreigner who passed the
I actually just saw that test. Too. The
and he's like he has like a thick accent in Japanese, but he passed it.
No, but I respect him though, because that's like, I mean, Kanken EQ, just like the Honja's kanji test. It's like, well, if you're actually going to use Anki, you could probably realistically in like a couple years like pass that, and so that's not that outrageous. And Japanese people actually respect that because it really shows a mastery over a certain of one aspect of the language. But that's different than every kanji ever, because you know that like there's like 50,000 plus kanji technically, right, that have like been recorded somewhere once. Whereas I think you only need 6,000 to pass Kanken EQ, maybe more. But that's still definitely a different order of magnitude. But I still respect that guy because he did it. It doesn't look like he actually knew about Anki. And he's like on Japanese local television, like giving lessons about kanji and stuff. At least that's what it looked like in the YouTube video. So that's pretty cool.
So would you also be able to, like with this question, would you also be able to read like kanji that someone else just made up like on the spot? Because it's like considered a kanji.
It's
I think so. So in a way, you have a certain kind of telepathy. That's how you pronounce that? Yeah,
telepathy. It's either telepathy. Yeah,
telepathy.
Yeah.
I thought of the Japanese word like terepashi. That's what I had in my mind. So I was like, wait, that doesn't sound right. Oh yeah, telepathy, of course, yeah. Because then, you could be like, here, make up a kanji right now, assign it any meaning. Then you could be like, oh, that means socks or whatever. Like you just instant, and then to be like, how'd you read my mind? It would be like real magic.
It's like now like the equivalent of like a word just being added to the dictionary and then you just instantly know. And I guess like in terms of like words being added to the dictionary nowadays, like, oh shit, I know a new word, yeet, hey, let's get it, YOLO. Like
yeah, you're just sitting there and you're like, oh, new word just came in, fresh from Nippon. Someone just made up a new kanji.
Downloading.
Oh dude. Oh, man, you're making the choice sound more attractive now, Matt.
You could write books on
database
on kanji.
You can make the dictionary before the dictionary has it. So, hey, I mean, but I'm still gonna have to go with speaking ability here. I'm sorry. Like it was a little attractive there for a second, but I'm gonna still go with speaking ability.
I feel like a lot of these questions are something that's like realistic, or something that is like something that's realistic and valuable, and something that is impossible but not valuable, but you kind of still want it just because it's impossible, and so it'd be like getting magic powers, even though they're mostly useless. That's what makes it a hard decision.
It is, yeah, man. Just like if you can do like everything from each question, like pick one of them, it's like you have the resume of just like useless but magical things. Oh man.
Yeah, it's like on Pokemon. Do you want to have an actually like strong Pokemon at level 100, or do you want to have like a shiny Celebi or something that like sucks for battle, but it's so rare? How would you get it otherwise? You know.
It's true. Tough choices. All right, next question, Eric. What is it, man?
All right. Would you rather take a beginner level Japanese class for 4 years, or become an English teacher in a foreign country for a year?
Oof.
Well, Matt did the first one, right?
Not by choice. If I had to choose, I would choose being an English teacher in a foreign country, because although your job would suck, at least you get to experience living in a foreign country. Whereas it's like if you're just taking a beginner Japanese class for 4 years, you're just gaining nothing except suffering.
Yeah,
and like you get like an ego boost if you're already fluent.
Beyond that, I would just feel like my soul was slowly getting grinded away, I think, at this point.
So you're forced to come to class every day. It's like 8 a.m. You're like, what am I doing with my life? Yeah, I mean, I would go and choose the be an English teacher in a foreign country, more so for the traveling aspect. Love doing that. Be cool, just living in a different place, even though I'd be teaching English. But yeah, what about you, Eric?
Wait, why would you be in a beginner level for 4 years? Like, wouldn't you like become advanced?
You're failing every year.
Just, like, keep taking the
worst student who ever lived.
No matter how good you potentially are, you're just gonna fail no matter what, man.
Or maybe you're the most incredible student that they ever had, and you lifted up every other beginning student, and everyone else in the class had higher grades than they'd ever had in the beginner class before, so they beg you to stay and uplift the next class as well, year after year.
Or maybe the Japanese program is so bad that they only have one level of Japanese for 4 years.
And you're just like, fuck it, another one. I'm doing it again.
Another one. Let's go. Oh, my 4th year learning hiragana. Let's get it. I'm ready for this.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And then by the end, I could like speed run the class. Just like all the assignments.
Yeah, you're like, finishing the teacher's sentences and then like looking around to see if anyone's impressed, and they're all just like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy?
I'm the captain now.
I feel like some of these questions are like one thing that's really good and then one thing that's like bad. So it's like, would you rather get a girlfriend or like lose an arm? And it's like
that last one was kind of rigged.
That one is pretty rigged. Yeah, man. I'm team girlfriend, by the way. Just so everyone knows.
You would have to have some hardcore cooties if you would rather choose to become an amputee.
Oh man, cooties, man. Oh god. Yeah, shout out everyone who has hardcore cooties. Let us know in the comments below.
All you first and second graders.
Yeah, go at Matt right now. Let him know if you have hardcore cooties. Shout out second grade. But yeah, I guess the last question here, and this one is by far the most important question. So, would you rather be on the KoreKara podcast or... I'm not even gonna finish that, man. You already know what that one.
I think I would rather be on the KoreKara podcast.
Oh, let's go. We got it, man.
It's almost as if I had my memories from the future reach my past self and decide that, yeah, this is what I wanted to do. And
yeah, guys, by the way, everything we just said, that's actually real life just now. Matt chose that option from the first or the second question, and it happened. He knows how great the KoreKara podcast is going to become, and he like relayed that back to right now, and he's telling you right here.
Yeah,
guys.
This is some Steins Gate shit.
It really is.
So this is the world line that I selected every time.
I appreciate it. That's the world line we'd select too. All right, Eric, what would you choose, man? I'm just kidding, man.
I'm already on the KoreKara podcast.
The first podcast ever created.
First podcast ever.
Not in this world line, but in the other one. Yeah.
In the other one, we're creating a multiverse here. We're creating a multiverse. Next time Matt's on, we're gonna be going through some new world lines here. Stay tuned. Oh man. But yeah, this is gonna be the end of our nice little segment here of Would You Rather featuring Matt vs. Japan. Hope you guys enjoyed it. So thank you for coming on, Matt. Thank you for your insightful answers here. Very important questions to be answered, and you answered them perfectly. So good job there.
Thanks, man. It was fun. Great to be on.
Hey guys, thanks for making it to the end of the podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed our little Christmas special.